Hey Posh Girls, it's your girl Janet Bryn for Caribbean Posh. Thank you so much for tuning in to what will be our final session of today as part of the Posh Girl Power Brunch Hybrid Series. This next session is all about healthy skin and beauty. And to help us power up when it comes to our healthy skin and beauty regimen, I've brought in some of the best in the region. I'm talking about Posh Girls, Dr. Shakima Stout-Otley, who's a dermatologist based right here in the British Virgin Islands. She's Chief Executive Officer and Medical Director at her own practice, Breviderm. I also have the lovely Akima Crab, my good friend, who's a pro makeup artist based right here in the beautiful British Virgin Islands as well. She specializes in bridal, beauty, Available now via MacCloud, the Power Brunch Collector's Issue featuring Rexy Roll. Order your print copy today. Visit www.CARIBBEANPOSH.com to learn more. The Caribbean Posh Girl Power Brunch, proudly sponsored by 5 Girls, CCT Life Unlimited,
S-Bling on the track,
Premier Dental, Shoma Properties, National Bank of the Virgin Islands, Bella Blooms, and BVI Gin. Hey Posh Girls, it's your girl Janet Bryn for Caribbean Posh. Thank you so much for tuning in to what will be our final session of today as part of the Posh Girl Power Brunch Hybrid Series. This next session is all about healthy skin and beauty. And to help us power up when it comes to our healthy skin and beauty regimen, I've brought in some of the best in the region. I'm talking about Posh Girls, Dr. Shakima Stout-Otley, who's a dermatologist based right here in the British Virgin Islands. She's Chief Executive Officer and Medical Director at her own practice, Breviderm. I also have the lovely Akima Crab, my good friend, who is a pro makeup artist based right here in the beautiful British Virgin Islands as well. She specializes in bridal, beauty, and you can often find her backstage at the annual Summer Sizzle fashion show. Please help me welcome these awesome Posh girls to help us power up healthy skin and beauty right now. Available now via MacCloud, the Power Brunch Collector's Issue featuring Rexy Roll. Order your print copy today. Visit www.CARIBBEANPOSH.com to learn more. And we're back with segment 2. We're going to get into some more skincare and specifically skin prep. Now, Akima, I know this is a big thing for you, something that I hear you talk about all the time. So as a makeup artist, I want to know, why is this important to you?
So skin prep. So I always tell a lot of people when I talk about skin prep, for me personally, I actually love skincare more than makeup. And people are always shocked when I say it. But skin prep, a lot of time have to do with your skincare routine, which is what we touched on earlier. And once the skin is prepped well, your makeup oftentimes, or 100% of the time, looks flawless, and a lot of time it helps with the application and the amount of time it actually takes for you to apply the makeup. So for me, when it comes to skin prep, a lot of times I would tell clients, especially my brides, specifically as we're approaching bridal season, is, to exfoliate. Hydration is a big deal. I mean, hydration is everything for me. I think when the skin is well hydrated, it looks so luminous and just amazing. And then it helps the makeup application to go on very smooth. So skin prep is life. I mean, if you prep well, and I mean exfoliate, hydrate, have a good primer, and even use an eye cream, oftentimes your makeup application is going to be amazing.
So tell me a little bit about, let me go back here. Our resident dermatologist with us today, Dr. Shakima Stout-Otley. I want to go more in depth into this skincare regimen because this is a big part of the actual prep. So can we talk a little bit about the ideal tools that we as ladies should have to aid us in our skincare routine? And so let's begin by just taking through the steps of the basic skincare regimen.
All right.
So a basic skincare regimen is really four steps: cleanse, prepare or tone, infuse, where you use serums or hydrants, and then protect, which is your sunscreen. So those are the four basic things that you need to do before putting on makeup. I always say your face is your canvas. So
It is.
if you have a good, and this prep doesn't have to be just on the day when you're doing your makeup. It should be a routine so that you can have a nice smooth surface to have makeup if you choose to, or even not so. All right. So cleansers, again, it depends on your skin type. If you have more sensitive or dry skin, you're going to use a gentle cleanser. Well, Review Skin Health, we have a gentle foaming cleanser. Then if you are more acne prone, you can use the GA10, which is the glycolic acid cleanser, or use any alpha hydroxy type cleanser. If, for example, again, back to being sensitive or dry skin, you can use a pH balanced toner, something that's going to help the barrier of your skin get its integrity back. It allows you to absorb even the nutrients that you're going to put on with the infusion step right after. It allows you to absorb that even better. And it helps the pores to sit a little bit closed, smaller, so that your makeup goes on and you don't see these large pores. And then finally, of course, you're going to choose an SPF that is definitely water-based, so that it's not going to block your pores. You might see that word on a lot of products called non-comedogenic, so you're going to want to select something like that.
Akima,
once you got your sunscreen on, you're ready for Akima.
Yeah. I have to put Akima on the spot a little bit. I need to hear from her what is her skincare regimen.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Can I say it's very extensive? And people would ask, like, why? You have like perfect skin. I remember the first time I went to Shakima, she was like, why did you come here? I was like, I need a routine. But for
yes,
me,
indeed.
yes, she was like, I'm trying to get people's skin to look like yours. Yeah. So, for my perfect skincare routine, well, currently I'm using a product called Belief. It's a Korean brand. And what actually directed me to it, it's all about hydration. And if anybody knows me, I talk about hydration.
Yeah.
So they have like a gel-like hydrating cleanser that I love, 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 love. But on my makeup days, I do use an oil cleanser first to help break up the makeup. And then I would go in with a gel cleanser. So I usually double cleanse on days when I work out and on days when I wear makeup. And thereafter, I would go in with a toner. I usually use the Mario, I don't even know what you call these, Mario Body Scope toner. And then based on what my skin need at the time, I have the three of them. So I usually use the rose water one on a daily basis. But if I realize that my skin looking a little dull or whatever, then I would use one of the other ones. I then go in with serums. I have so many, but I usually use vitamin C and hyaluronic acid. I live by those, love those, and then I would go in with a eye cream, and I have the Belief one right here in my hand, very rich. And I usually recommend eye cream for makeup wearers because a lot of times we pack, especially people who like to bake, we pack a lot of powder on the eyes, and that part of your face on the eyes very sensitive. And a lot of times a lot more dry than the other parts of your face. So I'm big on eye creams for hydration under the eyes, so that even if your skin becomes a little oily, a lot of times if your skin becomes oily, especially for those people who have oily skin, if you look under the eyes, it's still very dry. So to help to keep the skin looking balanced and juicy looking eye cream. And thereafter, I go in with my moisturizer. The one I'm currently using is this Morad one right here because it has SPF 30 in there and vitamin C. So it does a lot. I love it. And then I go with a primer. I oftentimes use this Ilamasca primer right here because it's hydrating again. And in my T-zone, because I have combination skin, I would use the Becca Matte Flawless Primer just to help control oils. And then I go in with my makeup.
I often get confused as to whether or not if you put on a moisturizer, do you need the primer?
Well, a lot of products is more like 2-in-1 and 3-in-1. So it all depends on, I would say depends on what you're going to do that day, because obviously, and then the time of the year. For us who live in the Caribbean, obviously, although, we see sun 365 days a year, in the summer is a lot more humid, especially here in the BVI. So oftentimes I realize for me, like now that we're approaching summer, moisturizer alone doesn't cut it because it's just so humid outside. So in order to have something for your makeup to hold on to, oftentimes you use a primer because it just acts as an extra barrier to help, hold your makeup. And to me, I also say it also acts as a barrier to help protect the skin as well. And then some primers have skincare ingredients in there. So it all depends on what you're trying to achieve, really and truly.
Yeah.
And can I make a quick comment on the primer? For persons, because a lot of persons who actually have acne issues would want to wear makeup, heavier makeup. I would just suggest that instead of using an actual primer, use Differin gel, which is one of the retinoids. So actually, while you're wearing your makeup, you're treating your acne at the same time. So that actually is a great primer because it allows great oil control. It really holds your makeup in place. And I think a lot of clients, for me, who are acne prone, they have bad acne and they wear a lot of makeup, it's a great fix for them.
Nice. Definitely have to look into that.
Is it a misconception about makeup in regards to makeup being bad, covering your acne with makeup? Is that a misconception that it's a bad thing? Or?
I think first, I guess because how makeup was formulated before, it used to clog pores and all that type of stuff. But I mean, makeup has evolved where, again, makeup, there's a lot of brands that are hypoallergenic, so they don't clog your pores. And also a lot of brands like, I know specifically Path McGrath Labs. I think some of our products have skincare components in there. So, I mean, now I think brands are now more designing their formula so that it works for you and not against you, basically.
Correct. I think absolutely I have to second that, just because the makeup industry has evolved. They're more understanding that there are just some things that are not appropriate for face or for your pores. So definitely using makeup while you have acne is an option. It's definitely not something bad or good. It's an option. And for me, I mean, persons just want to have clear skin because clear skin is the look of confidence. So sometimes if you're having a meeting or you're doing something, you might want some coverage to just cancel out some of those dark marks while you're treating your acne. But what I don't promote is using it as a camouflage for your acne while not even trying to approach the issue, because there's also that group of persons who would just put on the makeup, don't care about the condition. It's like having alopecia and just putting on a wig and don't care about the reason why you're having alopecia. So in that case, use it as an option and not as a prosthesis, so to speak.
All right, so we're going to talk some more about makeup in the next segment. But before we move on, I wanted to ask the question, face masks versus face scrubs. What are the benefits of each in terms of prepping our skin, actually?
For me, especially for, well, face masks, at least the ones that I typically use is, again, for hydration. And just to help to get the skin hydrated. And I think most face masks actually is for, the sheet mask, I should say, in particularly, a lot of times is used for hydration. But face masks, and I know Shakima would give more detail to that. It all depends on, face scrubs and face masks actually do two different things. One, and that's it. And face masks, a lot of times you use one based on your skin need. So whether you use one that is a clay, or you would have one that is for hydration. So I think both are necessary. So it's not like an either or, because they have their own rightful place. And obviously exfoliants, or scrubs, more exfoliants, because you could have chemical exfoliants and the manual ones, which is the scrub. Those also have their place. But Dr. Shakima Stout-Otley would give more detail on that.
I would say, Akima, you're absolutely correct. All of them, they have different functions. So it depends on what you want. A mask is definitely, oftentimes it's not something you do every day. And it also depends on what else you're using for your skincare. Because what you don't want to do is use, you alluded to it, Akima, when you mentioned about chemical exfoliants. You don't want to use a whole lot of chemical exfoliants and then switch to doing a scrub every night. Your skin is just going to be too irritated and become more sensitive. And then in that way, you can actually promote acne flare-ups. All right. So I think masks, depending on what it's for. So if you're using a hydrating mask, that's something you can definitely do every night. But if you're using an exfoliating mask, I feel like maybe twice a week, once a week, that's something you can consider. If you are being treated for acne or melasma, these are conditions where I use a lot of exfoliants in your routine, then scrubs are not going to be appropriate for you, period. Just because the medications in your treatment regimen, which includes retinoids, sometimes hydroquinones, these are all things sometimes that can thin your skin. And then eventually, if you add a scrub to that, you might not have been irritated or scratched before having this treatment, but now that you combine both of them, it just kind of amplifies the effect. So I would say once you're being treated for a medical condition, scrubs are a no-no, but masks, hydrating masks, they're really good because sometimes some of them can even talk about they're helping balance your pH. You have good organisms on your face and your body in general. And so we call that the microbiome, which is a great balance between good bacteria, good yeast. It just creates that environment where you can produce that natural moisturizing factor. And so some of those masks actually help to replenish that natural moisturizing factor on your face. So it just helps your skin to respond in a more healthy way when you want to do anything to it, whether it be put on makeup, go for a facial, or even wax your eyebrows. Because if your microbiome, if your natural moisturizing factor is off, some persons may even, from a simple wax, they might just get a burn when somebody else whose skin is balanced may not get that burn.
Yeah. Lately, I love to use my favorite mask is a detox from Sage Roots. So just had to shout out our good friend.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to take a pause for the next segment. Coming up, we're going to talk more makeup and makeup application.
Available now via MacCloud, the Power Brunch Collector's Issue featuring Rexy Roll. Order your print copy today. Visit www.CARIBBEANPOSH.com to learn more. The Caribbean Posh Girl Power Brunch, proudly sponsored by 5 Girls, CCT Life Unlimited,
S-Bling on the track,
Premier Dental, Shoma Properties, National Bank of the Virgin Islands, Bella Blooms, and BBI Gin. The Caribbean Posh Girl Power Brunch, proudly sponsored by 5 Girls, CCT Life Unlimited,
S-Bling on the track,
Premier Dental, Shoma Properties, National Bank of the Virgin Islands, Bella Blooms, and BBI Gin. The Caribbean Posh Girl Power Brunch, proudly sponsored by 5 Girls, CCT Life Unlimited,
S-Bling on the track,
Premier Dental, Shoma Properties, National Bank of the Virgin Islands,
And we're back with more of our virtual segment here on skin and beauty, healthy skin and beauty, I should say. Our final segment of the day, we're going to be talking more makeup and makeup application with my friends Akima Crab and Dr. Shakima Stout-Otley. Are we ready, ladies?
Yes, we are.
Just teasing. So, Akeem, I'm going to start it off with you. What are some of the common mistakes that we ladies sometimes make when choosing makeup, and how do we get it right?
So, if we start with complexion, which is foundation, concealer, powder, and so forth, a lot of times, as we touched before, you have to know your skin. tone is a lot of time, which is
Your
could
sound
be
now?
stressful. So you go to professionals a lot of time for you to
Because
get
I'm
a
hearing
perfect
it. I
match.
don't
And
know
then
why.
obviously, if you have sun exposure, you might get a tan, and obviously your skin
Hearing it now?
complexion would change, and then you would, you know, kind of match it to that. That again is another mistake. And I'm touching foundation because a lot of time that's the one area that people make most of the mistakes. When it comes to applying your foundation, you don't just apply to your face, but down to your neck and even to
Yeah, it
your
was a bit of a
chest.
nightmare.
And oftentimes you want to make sure that
I
everything
switched to
is in sync. So
YouTube
if you have
because I couldn't
hyperpigmentation
play
where your skin
the
is darker
final
than the rest of
session
your
since it was
body, you would actually
pre-recorded
try to
and he
match
sent it to me in three
your chest
pieces.
area,
I
your neck,
couldn't
so
do
that
that
everything
through
would
Zoom.
flow.
So
So, I
I
mean, we
was
could
able
talk
to
about
figure
so
out the
many
other
other.
stuff how to get it on
I tend to
YouTube.
get into trouble when well, if I've been in the winter months a lot, when I lived in the States and then came home for the summer, I'd be like in trouble when I got my tan. But I've also found, and I've had this discussion with you a while back, Akima, where
Mhm.
I stayed loyal to a product and then
Hello? I don't know why you can't. I muted it. Yeah, yeah. So you could hear it now because I can't hear it when I'm on mute. Okay.
said that you actually have three different foundations that you use. I've been using like one.
Yeah. So based on what my skin is doing at that time, and then my skin, the shade, because I usually get darker throughout the summer, just because you're just exposed. You know, you go outside, even if you wear SPF, a lot of time it doesn't stop you from getting a tan. So I would have a foundation shade that is one shade darker and then one shade lighter than what my shade that is one shade darker and then one shade lighter than what my
Hello? Yeah, I hear. Um, somewhat. I just having a little technical difficulty with this project I'm working on. Um, no, no, no. Well, I'm producing an online event and I didn't have my tech support to help me today, so it was a bit of a nightmare. I had to do it all myself. But I almost over it. I just waiting on the last thing to finish. Yeah, so I'm at the arbitration center. Um, Over in Ritter House across from the moorings. Okay. Okay. All right.
I would say a contour product. I think for everyday, a powder contour product is always easier. And usually what I do, I actually use a bronzer. So I don't exactly contour on an everyday basis. I just use a bronzer to help warm up my face and also to help add dimension into my face at the same time. A blush is a must for me. I can't wear makeup if I don't wear blush. And I think for everyday, a cream blush I find is better because it comes across a lot more natural. It looks like, you know, it just has a more natural looking feel to it. And Fenty have some really good cream blushes as well. And mascara, some sort of brow product, whether it's a brow pencil. I prefer brow pencils, but lately I've been using a brow pomade by Blushing Beauty, and I don't have it here today. I left it in my studio. But in terms of eyeshadow, I recently got this eyeshadow palette from Blushing Beauty to review, and it has a lot of natural tones. Yes, it has like other colors in there, but this palette in itself, you could actually do a lot of neutral tone looks with this.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
This is actually showing up as well as I have it here. But this is actually a favorite palette of mine that I've gotten recently from that company. And that company is a BVI brand as well. And my favorite powder to use is by MAC. This is probably the one MAC powder that I love because it's the mineralized skin finish finishing powder. It allows your skin not to be so powdery, but there are kind of like highlighting molecules in there, so it allows your skin to still have a natural glow in the finishing. And now that we have to wear masks, and until they abolish that rule, yes, can't wait. Right now I wear a lot of matte lipsticks, and my favorite right now is from Blushing Beauty. And this is the color I'm wearing right now. It's called Temptation. What I love about this, it doesn't transfer at all. So no matter how much I drink, even when I put on my mask, it doesn't smudge. So this is kind of like a go-to when I want to, wear lipstick and I take off my mask from time to time and I want my lips to look nice. This is definitely a go-to for me at the moment. And I think for most every day, I think matte lipsticks is the way to go if you are a avid lipstick wearer. And obviously we have to wear a mask from time to time, a matte lipstick.
Yeah. So is there a non-transferable foundation?
There are a few apparently, but I think in order to make makeup non-transferable, a lot of time you have to do with the technique and the setting. There's a lot of setting sprays. I have one here from Charlotte Tilbury. It was here earlier. I used it earlier. That is known for helping to set your makeup to the point where it doesn't transfer. And I know Ben Nye also have a Seal It spray as well, which was actually formulated more for like stage makeup because, stage makeup is so heavy. That has been proven to help makeup to be non-transferable. I've used it on brides a lot actually. But I know I've heard of some foundations that are non-transferable, but to be honest, I can't remember what those are at this present moment.
I need that. I need some of those.
I would definitely find that out for you.
I don't usually wear the shields. I tend to wear the traditional mask. Mm-hmm. I just find it easier for some reason, with the exception of my makeup coming off.
Do you set with a setting spray?
I don't. I have
So-
on occasion, but I maybe I just have the wrong product.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, the setting sprays, you can, there are a few out there. I know Urban Decay All Nighter, that's a really good setting spray as well. And I can't tell you that with those that you wouldn't have some transfer, but it wouldn't be to the extent that you're probably having it now. And oftentimes people with oily skin, they tend to have more transfer than the other skin types because oil melts makeup generally. And that's why.
Yeah, I think I tend to be more oily.
Yeah, so that's probably why you're having that. But
so we'll get that sorted.
You'll get that sorted.
All right, Posh Girls, I am talking to two boss entrepreneurs. Akima Crab has also launched a new brand, your lash line. You want to talk to us a little bit about that?
Yes, so it should be coming this summer. It's called Wink with a Q by Akima Crab. Yes, Wink.
I love it.
And I mean, I know there are tons of lash brands out there, but one of the reasons why I came up with this lash brand is because for me, makeup application is more as an enhance and amplifier, and that's mainly my focus. And usually lashes oftentimes can be very scary, especially for people who don't really wear makeup or don't wear a lot of makeup. And my line is more designed for the everyday woman who really just wants to amplify their makeup look with just a natural, nice looking pair of lashes. And to give you more detail on my lash brand, they are a ultra curl, wispy type looking lash. It has a, you would call bandless or invisible band. So it doesn't have a band. It's actually a lot thinner than the regular invisible bands. It's almost undetectable. So you could only tell if you kind of look like really, really, really like magnifying glass close, because you don't see the band. They are lightweight, very comfortable on the eye. And they really are just designed to give you that natural look. I know now that, you know, we have COVID and a lot of places have been shut down. You can't exactly go out for like lash extensions, or back then, at the time when I came up with it, you couldn't really go out to get like lash extensions and stuff like that. That would give you that natural look. So I wanted to come up with a lash line, one that was user friendly, and I use that word for beginners, like people who don't wear lashes typically, and a lash brand that was suitable for people to wear for more like career women who wanted that extra you know, especially for these Zoom meetings or when they're going to, you know, their meetings at work, and also a lash that was suitable to wear every day. A lot of times, you know, we only put on lashes for like special occasions and stuff like that. But these lashes, they look so natural that, you know, oftentimes you can't tell that they are not your natural lash unless you tell them that it's not. So, yeah, so it was important for me to create a lash brand, especially for the type of clients that I have, which are women who love minimal makeup generally, and they don't want a whole lot, but still want to look beautiful. So it was created for that type of woman, but also suitable for the everyday woman.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it. I'm all about beauty enhancement, which is why I took my time today and put on some lashes.
I realized that. How long did it take you?
Not too long. Not too long. I got it done in record time. Yes.
Yeah.
Still gotta come to my lash classes with Akima.
Definitely.
I always have one missing.
Definitely.
Now, the thing with lashes and even eyebrows, you know, these are things that you have to be very careful with. And there are some of us that have had bad application in the past, especially with the individual lashes,
The
or
lash
doing
extensions, yeah.
too bad of a wax on the eyebrow that burn you on too many times. So I wanted to get from our resident dermatologist some tips on how to take care of our lashes and eyebrows.
Well, I think the first thing you have to know is just be gentle with your eyes. Overall, just being very gentle. So, I mean, we're in the era of a lot of women wearing a lot of heavier makeup on the brows, heavier makeup on the eyelashes. And also we have the era of the magnetic lashes and so on. So what you have to do is make sure removing of these items, try to do it as gentle as possible. I mean, I know we mentioned a lot about different wash options. I am still a strong believer of using baby shampoo, tear-free baby shampoo, to get your eye makeup off. Now, aside from that, like Jan mentioned, I mean, over plucking can give you thinner eyebrows. Some persons with different medical conditions can get thinner eyebrows. Types of alopecia can cause that. And also like having a natural tick, like sometimes persons have this social anxiety and they just pluck their eyebrows or lashes and they have gaps. And you mentioned, Jan, too, about the individual eyelash application.
The lash extensions, yeah.
Yeah, like when you haven't taken those off properly, I think knowing that you need to go back to the professional to remove those is something that's really important. But if you get to the point that you've actually lost your eyebrows or have gaps in eyebrows or lashes, then Brevive Skin Health, we have an advanced eyelash growth serum. And it uses one of the main active ingredients, which is natural. It's from the clover flower extract, along with other really powerful ingredients. Applying the advanced eyelash serum twice a day actually can promote regrowth of those areas. So while it says advanced eyelash, you can also use it on your eyebrows to actually thicken up your eyebrows. So making that a part of your routine, if you've already seen signs of thinning, that would definitely be a bonus for you.
Sounds good. I think I need to get some of that. You can't tell, but one of my eyebrows have been waxed one too many times or something. But yeah. Akima, what I wanted to get from you before we end today's session is your philosophy on makeup application, because I know you're very particular as to how you apply makeup. And ever since you've started doing my makeup and when I see you do other people's makeup, when I'm doing my own makeup and looking at myself doing my makeup, I'm like, I'm so not doing it like Akima. So help me with this.
Yeah, so for me, I think less is more. And my philosophy is you kind of start small. So usually when I apply makeup, foundation in particular, I start with very thin layers. And because I still think that skin should look like skin, no matter if you are wearing foundation. I mean, even if you look at my skin right now, I have on full makeup, but you could see that my skin still looks like skin. It's still glowing like how skin should glow. So thin layers. And usually when I apply foundation, I only put full coverage in the areas that need it. And, you know, I'm big on skin prep, as we talked about before. Having skin prep is major when it comes to skin application. Having beautiful skin, oftentimes you have beautiful makeup application because your skin is already amazing. But less is more. That's really my philosophy. I'm all about enhancement and amplifying what God, you know, the beauty that God gave you already. So just amplifying the areas of your face that you, like, say you might have like beautiful bright eyes, then you amplify that because that's the area that you love more. But, you know, it's just about enhancing what you have already. I'm not all about making somebody look completely different. And I have a saying that if it's husband approved, boyfriend approved, that means I did a damn good job, because y'all know how men feel about makeup. And to be honest, I've got a lot of husband approved and boyfriend approved, because especially when it comes to brides in particular, every bride, like 95%, they would, even if there are people who wear a lot of makeup naturally, but on that day, they would usually tell me, make me look more like myself.
Yeah.
And then I would say, well, that's my superpower. So
That's true.
Superpower indeed. You do an awesome job. Now, I wanted to ask you one last question, Akima. Makeup brushes versus the makeup sponges.
I'm learning a lot by this session, by the way, because I'm not a makeup person, and I'm due for a makeup class with Akima, but
yes.
I'm learning a lot. I can't wait for this answer, because that's something I want to know too.
So they both have their place. I actually use both, to be honest.
Okay.
I find, well, usually on like first application, I would go in with a brush to apply. But oftentimes, because, I still want my makeup to still look more skin-like, I would go in with the beauty blender or any blendings. I don't want to say any blending sponge because they are not created equal. But I would go in with a beauty sponge, and I would blend even more because it takes off the excess foundation, so you don't have that caked look.
Okay.
And it just helps the makeup to blend. I mean, it's a blending sponge, so it just really helps with the blending process. But even if you don't use a blending sponge, using a makeup brush that has a flat top. For example, I have on my hair. It has powder in it, but anyways, something with a flat top, it would really help to, get the makeup in there and help to blend it out, well as,
That's
foundation one. This is for foundation specifically.
For foundation. Okay.
Yeah, because, before when they used to have foundation brushes, it used to be like the slim brush, but a lot of times it said, like, over time, the people would say that it would actually leave like streaks on your face.
Okay.
So more often now, brush companies, they create brushes that have more of a flat top. So you kind of like have like that dabbing or patting motion. And it oftentimes helps the foundation to go on flawlessly. But having a beauty sponge helps to take off the excess. It helps to blend, but also because it's a sponge and it soaks up, it will take off any excess foundation. So it's really a preference, to be honest, and based on what you are trying to achieve.
Okay. Yeah. I've tried different things. I'm recently trying one of those. It's like a sponge, but with a handle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not at home, so I can't.
Yeah.
But it's like an oval shape, and it has a handle, and you just.
Mm-hmm. It's just another fancy brush.
Yeah.
Really and truly, yeah.
The only challenge I have with it is cleaning it. I find like I have to be really detailed to get it clean good, because I don't feel good unless I know it's clean.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the truth is, especially when it comes to your foundation brush, you should actually clean it every day after use. Because the foundation, a lot of times it's hard to clean, because when you apply foundation upon foundation upon foundation, it gets really stuck in the hair of the brush, and it takes forever to get it out. But even for skincare purposes, you should clean your sponge and your foundation brush every day, or even your face brush. Like your eye brushes, you could get away with. You could just wipe them off with a makeup wipe, but your face brushes, because, especially people who suffer from acne and stuff, they should clean their brushes every single day. And for the normal person like me, should clean it once a week. But I do clean my sponge and my brush every day, to be honest with you, because it just helps the cleaner the brush, the application is just a lot more better, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Gosh. All right, ladies, I think that's all we have time for today. I want to thank you, Dr. Shakima Stout-Otley and Akima Crab, for talking healthy skin and beauty with us today. And I definitely hope that you, ladies, and the rest of the Posh Girl community enjoy the whole rest of the Posh Girl Power Brunch Hybrid Series.
The Caribbean Posh, available now via MagCloud, the Power Brunch Collector's Issue featuring Rexy Roll. Order your print copy today. Visit www.CARIBBEANPOSH.com to learn more. The Caribbean Posh Girl Power Brunch, proudly sponsored by 5 Girls, CCT Life Unlimited,
As you bling on the track.
Premier Dental, Joma Properties, National Bank of the Virgin Islands, Bella Blooms, and BBI Gin.